Hello, math students. Welcome back to Module 3 called Rational Numbers. This is Lesson 7 called Absolute Value. Absolute value. Our goal for today is, today we will practice finding the absolute value of numbers. The question that I want you to think about in this lesson is, what does absolute value tell you about a number? All right, so this is some new information, I believe. And so in the things to know, we have a couple of vocabulary words first, just to give you some definitions of this new information, and then I'm going to show you how to use it. So absolute value means the distance between any number and zero. So basically, you go to that number, whatever it is, and then you find zero on the number line, and then you count the number of hops that it takes to get to that number from zero. Distance is a positive number of spaces from one number to another number. And the key word, and I want to underline this because it's truly, truly important, positive number of spaces is because you cannot go a negative distance. Once you travel, the distance has occurred. So every time you move somewhere, it's a positive distance, no matter what number you're traveling to on a number line. So if you're going from a larger number to a negative number, the distance is not negative because you're still traveling. So it's very, very, very important to remember that no matter what direction you're traveling in, if you are moving at all, that distance has to be positive because you're trying to figure out the number of spaces that you moved from one number to another. Okay? So that's really important. I need you to try to remember that. Okay, the symbol that we use for absolute value is kind of cool, and you might have already seen it before, but we call them brackets. But you guys are used to me writing brackets that look like this, maybe, if you've seen brackets before that like this. Some people also think that parentheses are also sometimes called brackets, but they're not. They're called parentheses. But absolute value uses straight brackets. And so it looks like two straight lines, and it almost looks like there's a fence around the number. So you have a straight line on the left and a straight line on the right, and the number sits inside. And so we have the absolute value of -2. And so basically, two straight brackets tell you to find the distance of a number inside from zero. So whatever is sitting inside those two straight brackets, that's what you have to count from zero. And the absolute value is the number of hops. Okay? So let's try it. It says try these. So on this one, if you read it correctly, this one says right here that you need to take the absolute value of 3. So basically, finding the absolute value of 3 means that you have to go 3 hops from 0. So again, if you need to use a number line, it's very, very helpful. That's why I don't know if you've kind of picked up on my weirdness with all of these lessons that we've been doing, but the number line is really handy. So if I go this way, I have 1, 2, 3 sitting right here, and it says the absolute value of 3, so I have to count the hops that I went from 0 to 3. So I went 1, 2, 3. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. You could also put, if you wanted to, 3 hops, because that's truly what it is. Okay, so now we're going to take the absolute value of -8. Okay, so let's try it. Remember, it's always the distance, which is always positive, from 0 to the number. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -8. Nice job. Okay, so now let's count the hops. You always have to start at 0. Always, 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 always. So count the hops from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one, the absolute value of -8 is 8 because you went 8 hops. Okay, awesome. So now let's try the next one. The next one says -5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're negative. And now I'm going to always start at 0 and count my hops. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I went 5 hops. So the absolute value of -5 is 5 hops. Because remember, absolute value is the distance from 0. So you have to count your hops. Okay, now the next one it says is 7. So let's try 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 happens to be right here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hops. So the absolute value of 7 is 7 hops. Okay? And then our last one, it says negative 12. So we'll try negative 12. That would be negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12. So negative 12 sits right here. And again, start at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I went 12 hops. So the absolute value of negative 12 is 12, or 12 hops, because that's the distance from 0 to negative 12. Okay? So absolute value is actually really, really fun. And all you have to remember is that distance is always positive. Absolute value always has the straight brackets, remember that, and it's very easy to figure out. So we'll go back up to our goal for today. Today we will practice finding the absolute value of numbers, which we did. The question, what does absolute value tell you about a number? What it tells you about a number is how far away it is from 0. Okay? Remember, absolute value means you have straight brackets, and remember that distance is always positive, and that's going to keep you happy and safe with absolute value. All right, kiddos, that's all I've got for you today. Talk to you soon. Bye.